just skip this one quickly, guys.
Okay, so how many? 6 ways to a flop? This is interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. So I see that here, and I have no idea why. I don't think it's good.
Yeah. So generally, multi-way, we want to be potentially betting our strongest hands, or if you feel like one of the 3 players to your left is going to bet, then check raising. I mean, it's a perfect spot to go for a check jam here with your strongest hands and some high equity draws, which you're going to have, I guess, like ace-2 of diamonds, ace-3 of diamonds. I mean, a lot of your flush draws here. You're going to have some overpairs and some top pairs. You can check jam for this low of an SPR. Which probably means then we've got a lot of hands we want to go ahead and check. So are we checking the whole range here to do something if someone else bets? What's anyone else's thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, this many players 6-way, I'm personally just check giving up here. There's going to be I don't see much merit in doing anything else. I think value hands. You've got sets. Yeah. So the question is, so I would see bet my sets. Ace king, maybe king queen, but again 6-way is tough even with like king queen personally with no diamond, and then my bluffs would just be like my nut flush draws personally. And I would even be tempted to give up a hand like ace-3 of spades, which heads up would be a natural bluff candidate. I'd probably just check give up personally.
We really just don't have a lot of room, do we? With only 26 bigs and 15 bigs in the middle.
I'd probably say nut flush draw. You probably would work better as a check jam with this stack deck, assuming someone's like to bet.
Yeah, so if we're going to do that, we want to be check jamming with some strong hands as well. Also, by checking, we allow the opportunity to put more money into the pot from other players behind us. That's then trapped in, where players have to play a little bit more honest. If it goes, you check and then someone else bets and someone calls and then you jam with a lot of those hands. I think the only time I would check call here is if we check and the guy to our left bets small and everyone else folds. I think we have to then check. We have to potentially call with 8s with a diamond, but it's already pretty dicey, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure of that. My understanding is that we don't have to do that.
I mean, we're protected by everybody else.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
don't have to continue, and if we're gonna be checking a lot of those strong hands to check jam as well, so we're gonna be absolutely fine. Pads?
Yeah.
I wouldn't check shove diamonds. People aren't really going to be betting hands like 8s themselves, right? So when we check shove, we're just going to run into a king all the time. I'd rather bet myself and get the big blind's going to defend every suited hand and loads of offsuit hands when he gets this price. So he's going to have 6, 7 offsuits, 7, 8 offsuits, jack 2 of diamonds, queen 3 of diamonds, etc. So when I have ace-6 of diamonds, first of all, I can get this Selvey guy to just fold. If I have, let's say I have ace 3 of diamonds, I can get Selvey to fold 8s. I can get Hercules to fold ace queen, separated to fold 7-5 suited or something. And then I can also get in against the big blind who's going to check shove combo draws or check shove queen high flush draws because the SPR is quite low. Or even if he goes call fold, then that's good. Or if he calls, then we both improve, etc. So I think there's lots of merits of betting ace-x of diamonds. I don't think there's that many merits of checking ace-x of diamonds, especially check shoving, because people are just going to have 5 swalls and king x when you check shove. They're not going to really be betting too much, I don't think. So yeah, I would just generally go for a bet ace-x, make better hands fold, and get worse hands to call. And if we only have an SPR of 1.7 or something, so if we have to run it against king x, then we'll run it. It's okay. Sometimes you go broke, I guess.
Yeah, it's your time to die.
So what kind of sizing you going here?
Well, generally in multi-way pots, you want to go smaller. So, let's say I bet ace-king here. I definitely don't want to go 5 big blinds or 4 big blinds or 7 or 6 or something, because if it goes bet raise, my value hands on the flop I don't have pocket fours, and I don't have pocket fives, and I don't have 5-4 suited because we started with like 27 big blinds. So my value bets on the flop is like aces and ace king and king queen. These hands like suddenly become dead once it's gone like raise re-raise. So when I do bet my value hands like ace king, aces, etc., I want to bet them really small to get my value, but also to preserve and save my stack when it goes like bet raise, etc., which happens relatively frequently when it's 6-way, because people are just going to have the big blind's going to have like king 5 off and stuff like that. So, so yeah, I would just generally bet a small size with everything I was going to bet.
Cool.
Cheers, Halsey, for ranging everyone in the chat really quickly. I could hear you bashing away on the keyboard and just pop up.
Mechanical keyboard.
Oh, sorry, we should have seen what happened. So we do bet, and now we're probably just giving up.
Yeah.
So we can move on. I think we got a lot of good discussion there. Okay, 21 big blinds, early position, ace-6 suited. Anyone opening here?
Yeah, I am.
I'm not.
I don't think I am.
I feel like we're a bit shallow.
Probably fold like ace-6 and ace-7 suited, and then open like wheel aces. Might be a bit wide still, but
Saying that, like if you want to have some opens like with your absolute premiums, like it's not a bad, like potentially not a bad hand to have like slight open, but I don't even know if you need to be balanced, to be honest, in these sort of big fields. But
yeah,
Generally better to have high cards. I think you want to flop top pair a lot. I think with this stack size, you want to preserve your stack a lot. You have 3 guys on your right who are going to be opening ranges which are like 100 big blind ranges rather than 20 big blind ranges. It's like people open tighter when they have 20 big blinds, right? But when you have 100 big blinds, they open loose. So having 20 big blinds is really powerful here because they're still going to open loads of hands, but they're just going to have to fold to our jam a lot. So preserving our stack and having loads of fold equity is really good when the stack sizes are distributed like this. So I would be preserving my stack here, I think.
and you'd be opening high cards because more like to flop pairs that you can get it in with for 20 bigs, right?
Yeah, like when you have a flush, like suited aces are good hands because you get to win huge pots against like low suited connectors and like king and like broadways and stuff, right? So like ace x of diamonds is great because you can sometimes bust like king 10 of diamonds and stuff like this. But when you have 20 big blinds, I mean, we're not trying to like flop flushes or anything at this point.
No, very true. Okay, so we do defend in the big blind sometimes. Thoughts versus this bet, Doobie?
I feel like multi-way, I'm happy to check fold it, but I just think it's going to be really tough to proceed versus any other action on the turn, and I can't imagine even if he hasn't got ace-x that he's just going to just bet once and then give up. So
Especially off this stack size as well. But it seems kind of exploitative to fold to a single bet, even though it's 3-way with middle pair here. And yeah, from some of the stuff I've seen, I quite like here. I'm probably just shoving, or no, that's not true. I'm shoving a lot of hands, and yeah, I feel like if we're deeper here, if I'm like got 30 back, then it's a clear call. But as you say, I don't think that we're going to continue with many turn cards here. Or he's going to put a lot of pressure on us on a lot of turn cards.
Yeah, I feel like more often than not we're just going to lose 3 big blinds here, and then check fold. And
it might be better if we have a diamond as well. We don't need to have a diamond.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. So if we've got 10-8 with a 10 of diamonds, like, should you proceed? Like,
shouldn't we not be continuing with diamonds and allowing him to have the diamonds?
I think you want to have backdoors, don't you, when you've got marginal that. I don't know. I'm interested to hear what Pads says at the time.
If you have diamonds, then if he has diamonds, then he's going to shove the turn and you're going to fold more often. If you have a diamond yourself, he's less likely to have a flush draw and he's going to slow down on the turn. So it's better to have a diamond when against the stack deck.
Also, having one diamond in your hand is going to give you that little bit more equity, right?
Yeah, you'll just check down on like the 2 of diamonds turn, and then the river will be 7 of diamonds, and you'd be like ace jack off or something.
Yeah.
You can even fold pre-flop here. I mean, it's not like a slam dunk call. A lot of the time, you're going to be in very difficult situations.
Yeah.
It's not a thrilling call by any
Would you say that's partly because of like how shallow I am? Like, if we had like 60 bigs, it's an easier call.
Just in general, even with like 60 bigs, it's going to be pretty tough to.
Reverse implied odds.
Yeah, it's just generally whenever it's gone like raise call, then in the big blind you should have to be a little bit careful because you get in situations where you're only happy to put chips in the pot when you have the nuts, basically like trips or like a straight or something, and you just don't get to realize your equity very well. Like here, we flop second pair, which is pretty good, and we fold versus the pot size or something. So.
Yeah.
Did he fold on the? Did he fold there, Gaz?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Just a side note, guys, we've currently got same amount of viewers as Party Poker Pads, so you're doing them.
I thought you were going to say Lex then.
I don't think it's updated for me. Oh wow, it's really updated. Wow. Yeah, who I know in the chat.
Ninja, have you got TeamViewer open?
Yeah.
Can I just assign you as the presenter? And just take over the control. Can you?
Okay. Is that working?
It should.
No.
You need to allow control.
Just skip through these hands quickly as well.
Pads, on a side note, how much does Ninja look like European? Do you not think?
I don't think so.
Oh, it was a dead ringer.
Trying to not confirm.
All right, you've got to click something to do it. Does anything pop up?
No, nothing's popped up, mate. Well, what's the problem?
I just want you to take over. I just need to nip outside something.
Okay.
Okay, well, hang on.
I kind of.
Right, we've messed this up.
I think you're now streaming my screen, aren't you?
Yeah, we've definitely messed that up. Right. Apologies for this. Allow control. Let's try that instead. Right.
You going for a poo, Gaz? Is that what it is?
No. I just need... you got control now, right? I'll let you take over.
Okay. I'm a HM Order Manager 2 type of guy. All right. Folding here, obviously. I'm assuming we're all doing that. 15 big blinds especially.
Yeah.
This looks playable hand.
You're like,
hang on, what's going on here? This is wrong. This is
wrong.
That's the bust out hand. Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's good. Bye.
Click here.
The top left.
And scroll down.
So we were on.
Where we're at.
It's back to frenzy. Let's go scroll down to the bottom.
Yeah, so King 10's the very last. No, that's the very last hand.
So what the hell's happened?
It's gone back.
So go to the top. Yeah, and then we were up to. We had the 10-8 defend, didn't we? Yeah, it starts at 9-5.
Okay.
No,
this can't be right.
It definitely starts at 9-5.
It started at Queen 5 now.
Oh
yeah, Queen 5 off. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, 9-5 is the start of the first bullet. So it's like the first 120 hands of the first bullet.
All right.
Just scroll down until you recognise a name on the table, I guess.
You're gonna have to help me a bit here, Doobs.
Yeah.
Where we're at. Yeah. Let's look for 8-8 actually, because that's pretty much where we're at, right?
Here.
There we go. There's an 8-8. Is that the one? Yeah, this is the one.
The next hand, nice recovery.
Right, and then which one? Right. This one here.
Yeah.
Yeah, all at the bottom. I don't use poker track really.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had that one. Flick these through. Had that one. We haven't had this one.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, it was skip by.
Okay. Right, we're in it. A6 off. 18 big blinds. Fold that. It's a bit laggy for me, but don't misclick. Okay, a limp and then a 3x. I'm assuming we're all folding here.
Yeah.
King 6 off, fold. 7-4 off, fold. 3-3 under the gun with 15 big blinds. Assuming we're all folding there, pretty standard.
Don't click that
Yeah.
one.
Don't
Right.
worry.
Do you want me to
Let's not
take
click
back
that
over? I left. You had one job, Ninja.
Yeah.
Let me. Do you want me to assign me
But
back?
by the way, we
control?
got 3 more hands in the 3 minutes that I took over. 45 other minutes that you were chatting away.
Okay.
No, it's all good.
Was this the?
Don't go back.
Whoa. What are you doing?
We're good.
We're fine. We're good where we are, mate.
We're at the place.
Oh, really?
Just
You've only got
folded hands.
15 bigs. Goodness, what happened?
We just kept folding.
Okay.
That's where we were.
How good are
Yeah.
you at winning flips? Pretty good.
Pretty good on the second bullet and deep run, I'd say. That's pretty standard.
Okay.
Okay.
Flicking in a
It's
call
quite an
here.
interesting spot.
I've got a feeling I fold, but I've got a feeling Pads might like a call.
This is something I've been working into my game a bit more, just based on sort of pot odds and with the ante, obviously, the big ante. You're getting such a good price, a nice hand. Yes, we're out of position, no antes. I'm just folding or 3-betting. But yeah, something I'm, like I said, including now in my game and flicking this in.
I like appeal as well, and maybe 3-bet something like Queen 8 suited, King 8 suited.
Yeah, I really like a flat here.
Mm-hmm.
Pads, you folding?
No, I'd call. Big blind is going to make a lot of mistakes. When you call, the big blind should actually call really tight here, but he's going to call really loose, and our hand will do just fine. And also, the big blind should actually squeeze a lot because our money's dead here, right? Like our two big blinds here is completely dead money. Like if he goes all in or raises or does anything, we're folding 100% of the time. The button's money is very weak. It's like the button's probably going to continue like 20-30% maximum against the squeeze. So there's like 4 big blinds out here which are worth something like 3.5 big blinds or 3 big blinds if you squeeze. So the big blind should squeeze bluff here a lot, but people probably never ever bluff in this situation. So we should actually call a lot of hands from the small blind, I think.
Why do you say the big blind should be really tight in this position? Just call in. If you can go a bit deeper into that.
Let's say he has like a hand like Queen 6 or something. Like whenever any chips go in the pot post flop, he's going to be like close to dead. He's going to have very few good bluffing opportunities. He's going to just have lots of reverse implied odds. He's going to call the best hand on the flop, call the best hand on the turn.
Yeah.
Just in general, it's very hard to make money in this situation.
Is that a better hand to 3-bet, or would we be overdoing it if we chose that particular combination? Like King 5 off, Queen 6 off.
I would just not 3-bet much at all. Like it's probably a situation where we actually want to just like when we do play aggressively, we probably want to just shove a lot rather than 3-bet bluff or 3-bet. Like there's not even many hands we want to 3-bet for value here. Like if we have Ace King off, we want to just jam that. If we have Ace King suited, we're probably happy jamming that. So once we're going all in with like Ace King off and Ace King suited, then we don't really have many hands which we want to value 3-bet. So we don't need to have any or many bluffs basically. Could maybe 3-bet bluff like Ace 8 offsuit or something, but that would be like Ace 9 offsuit maybe.
Okay, not very interested on the flop, but good pre-flop discussion there, guys. Okay, so we raise off around 30 big blinds and small blind 3 bets. Who wants to
Good
take
3-bet
it?
sizing from the villain.
Yeah, it is. Halsey, what are you doing? You go first.
Good size from him.
It's close, isn't it? I mean, if he's made it smaller, I think we've just got to peel. But the fact he's made it slightly bigger, I'm not sure actually.
Yeah, so the bigger sizing is more forcing us to shove or fold, right?
Yeah.
So I would guess that's why Pad said it's good sizing from villain.
I think I'm happy to let this one go in this spot.
I think if we're deeper, then it's an easier call. But given our precarious stack size,
Yeah, agreed, but I'm still flicking in the call. I find it hard to press the fold button, as you guys know.
Yeah, we know that.
And this one, 30% pot odds in position, very nice hand versus, what is out of the small blind. I don't know, somewhat of
Yeah, I'm gonna sort
linear
of
range.
play devil's advocate here and just be like, so we call here, the pot's suddenly 16, 17 bigs, and we've got 22 behind. So the sort of idea of having a pretty nice hand, he's going to have ace queen, ace jack, king queen, potentially king. I don't know how he's constructing his range, but he's going to have a lot of hands that dominate ours. We are going to be forced to jam over a c-bet a lot of the time, given the sort of the stack depth on the flop compared to the size of the pot. I think this is a spot where we end up calling and we end up folding a lot on the flop, and it's not really, like in the big blind we call because we're getting a great price, and we end up folding a lot more than we should, for a lot of reasons. Some of them being, we have a range disadvantage, we should overfold. We don't need to worry about minimum defense frequency in that spot. But we just get a great price pre-flop. It doesn't matter that we fold a lot post-flop. Here, I think it really matters that we fold a lot. I don't think we're going to hit enough of the time for us to feel comfortable continuing here. And I think almost 6 bigs out of our 27 big stack is going to be a little too loose.
And I'd also say I feel like the population is not going to be light here very often at all. Maybe some good players will do this, but I just feel like more often than not he's going to be absolutely dominating our hand here. So
yeah. Even
when we get it in, we're not in great shape at all.
Yeah, but obviously there's something we didn't discuss was potentially jamming with this hand, but I don't think I could be convinced that that's the play.
No, I don't think that's in the frame.
I think he could be like
in true GTO land. He would actually free bet pretty tight. He wouldn't free bet very much, and we actually would shove this hand somewhat often. We probably shove half the time and call half the time or something. I would never fold. I think the sizing looks very much like ace king kind of sizing from population, very large size. I think aces kings probably goes greedy, a little bit smaller size. It looks like a very big size and trying to get you to fold, which usually means either ace king or some kind of bluff which wants maximum fold equity. So I would call for those reasons. I don't think aces and kings generally sizes this large, and even if it does against his range, you a free bet, we can still probably call. A lot of people just don't like flat calling from the small blind. They just play free bet or fold only. So if all suited broadways and suited aces and ace jack off, ace 10 off, people free bet a lot of these hands. So I would call.
It's interesting. I feel like if I've got one league, it is possibly not defending versus free bets in these sort of spots enough. I just feel really uncomfortable with these sort of spots. But then I see good players defending against these, and yeah.
But
it's pretty hard to misplay because you flop a jack or a queen and you go with it. You flop a flush draw and you go with it, or you flop a backdoor raw flush draw or something and you call one straight. So yeah, whenever you're shallow, the hand just generally plays itself. I think.
Yeah.
Do you think that you hit the board enough of the time to call here for 6 bigs?
Yeah, also he's going to have you're also going to be able to bluff him on certain boards, right? So if the board comes 7-8-9 or 6-7-8 or 8-7-5, etc., he's going to have a lot of high cards and just do a lot of check folding as well. We're going to have hands which are calling free bets here, 7-8 suited, 9-8 suited. We can have 8s and 9s that we want to see a flop with rather than jamming. So he's also going to be fucked. He's also going to be fucked on a lot of boards. On boards where we are good, like queen high, jack high boards, he's also going to put a lot of money in with ace king. He's going to if the board comes queen 5-4 or queen 6-7, whatever, ace king generally will see bet. But the boards where he won't see bet are the boards where we actually miss and we can actually over realize equity with the hand probably.
Cool.
Really interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Sounds like you're really overfolding dupes,
yeah, I think I am.
8-9 suited, etc.
Yeah, how wide would you go there, Pads, in terms of defending versus the 3-bet?
Well, can't win if you fold generally.
My man.
I wouldn't call crazy wide. Those 9-8 suited would be pretty marginal calls. I'd call most pairs. I'd call suited broadways. I'd call ace jack off. I would shove ace queen, ace king, 9s plus, something like that. But yeah, I would always call ace. And you have to remember, in this hand with queen jack suited, you always have aces and kings in your range because you don't shove them, or it's good not to shove them because they play so well as calls. So like, even if you think that, oh yeah, I'm getting like fucked on the flop because I'm folding, and whenever I miss, I'm folding. Like, you're always gonna have hands which will continue on every board because you're always gonna have aces. You're always gonna have kings, king high boards. You'll have king queen, jack high boards. You'll have queen jack, jack 10. So it's not like the villain can just like close his eyes and start going crazy against you, because you'll just have hands which can call and continue. So yeah,
You're not flatting aces there 100% of the time, though, right? It's just something like a mix.
No, it always flat aces. Like, I mean, with the stack
Really?
size, they are just going to stack him so often. Like, if he has kings, queens, jacks, we basically always stack him. It's obviously hard for an ace to come off these stack sizes. The SPR is going to be really shallow, so we're just going to stack him very often. If he's ever bluffing, I want to, like, if he has like king, queen off or something, or like whatever, queen jack off or 9-8 suited or whatever else, then I want to make sure I get all the chips. And also because I want to call more hands like queen jack suited and jack 10 suited and 9-8 suited, it's important to have the really strong hands in my range too, so that I have some comfort and some backup from them.
See, in my eyes, I would also think that sizing smells of like ace king a little bit, and I'd be worried about flatting and then like letting him get away on the flop. Would you like? Is that like a downside of being balanced?
If his range looks like ace king and bluffs off that stack size, and you have two aces, then it's very likely he's bluffing and doesn't have ace king. Yeah. Because when you have two aces, it's just very tough to have ace king. If you have like queens, you go all in because he's going to have ace king very often. But when you have aces, I mean, it's just very, very unlikely for him to have ace king.
Right. Yeah.
And if he has it.
And what about? So you said 9s plus. So like your sort of 6s through 8s. Are you like making tighter folds in some spots because you haven't got the fold equity, or because I feel like a lot of people are just going to be 4-betting those in that spot?
I don't think you can ever shove like 6s and 7s. You can call them. They play 6s and 7s probably like in true like GTO land. If we played perfectly, we would be able to call them. But I would never shove them. I would never shove them. No. We don't. Yeah, 4-bet shoving like Lopez generally isn't very good. It's better to shove a hand like ace 5 suited or something. In general.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
I feel like a lot of cheers.
Okay. So Doobie
Quite
opens.
a big sizing you're using here.
Yeah. I think it was like it's definitely like one of my presets on stars, and that is like I've got more than one, and I think that 2.1x would probably be more, even 2x. Like, yeah, I agree with that. I feel like there's a lot of things on this hand history where it's sort of not necessarily optimal and not necessarily paying that much attention as if I was one tabling.
We get 3-bet, just folding. So same situation, and we would still want to go ahead and call with those suited.
Yeah,
hands.
it's a little bit different because he's super polarized. Because like he can, it's like what we said before about the big blind. You can just call all these hands. Like in the small blind, people like to play 3-bet or fold only a lot of the time. But in the big blind, we can just call a lot more hands than that. Like, he's never going to have king queen off here. He's never going to have like jack 9 suited here. All his hands are just definitely going to call. Whereas in the small blind, you could definitely have all of those hands. Here, I'd be very scared. I would just
I know it's different at high stakes, but like we've got to think like I always suspect the big blind 3-bet in that spot so much. Like, it's just always nutted. It's always like ace king, or at least it just feels like that.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. No one bluffs there either.
Really?
Very interesting.
I mean, given you've got 17 big blinds, I mean, it's not going to have much of a bluffing range.
Oh, no, sorry. Okay, so I had 30 bigs. Yeah, not that exact.
Oh, if you had 30 bigs.
Yeah, I think you're going to see way more bluffs then.
Even then, I mean, people just don't bluff.
Just whatever, period. That's why you should always fold rivers, right?
They always have it.
It's so weird, this perception we have of like high stakes poker, them just playing absolutely perfectly, and
no, definitely not.
And so from
most of the guys who play high stakes poker like don't even study poker. They just have very good instincts, and their theoretical games are actually like way worse than like guys playing mid stakes and low stakes. They just have this like sick intuition where they know when people are bluffing and stuff. They're not really playing very good at all.
Super hot here. Yeah.
This is
in your opinion, who's the best?
Who's the best?
Intuition-wise.
Oh, intuition-wise, well, it'll be the people who probably don't study at all, and they're still winning. So, like,
Bryn.
there's a few guys like C. Darwin and Lee there, and yeah, the Russians study, so I wouldn't say those, but yeah, like the Swedes, basically.
What about a giraffe ganger?
I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so.
So we run massively hot here, 6-6 versus jacks, as you'd expect.